Now, John Bound, who works on directing the nightly news and on the radio show, is back there in his office saying, Alex, it's not just the Cato Institute testifying to Congress that the country's becoming a dictatorship of the executive branch controlled by offshore interest. He's got all these clips of Congress people, lawyers, advisors. I mean, it's now being debated, finally, and we've been hammering the obvious. We don't deserve credit here. You're like if you were in Colorado and you opened up your tent that was a grizzly bear, you know, digging through your stuff, you better lay down and act dead. It's not like I'm a genius because I look out the tent and there's a grizzly bear right there. I mean, that's a grizzly bear. This is tyranny. I mean, it's 2 + 2 = 4. But I forgot, under Common Core, they teach 2 + 2 = 5, and that daddies and mommies are bad. Again, it's so over the top that's where they get us, is that they just do it with a straight face. They move forward. As they arm to the teeth against us, they persecute gun owners. It's happening all over the country. Legal gun owners are just being arrested everywhere, taken to jail. Charged with fake charges. Juries are convicting them. I've got stacks of news on that today. I mean, it is getting Twilight Zone, folks, because never before have so many people just been watching television. Even the people that are awake to what's going on partially are still like spectators. They just let things happen to them. They just don't stand up for their neighbors. They don't take violations of their liberties personal. They have a broken spirit. And the system can't believe what it's gotten away with. So, of course, they just took 80% of the pension funds from folks in Detroit. And, of course, they're announcing that for other cities. There's not going to be anything when the globalists are done, ladies and gentlemen. This has all been done in other countries over and over again. They're following a program. And the president has the IRS and the FBI persecuting gun groups, libertarian groups, Christian groups, pro-life groups, fast and furious, Benghazi, all the Celente scam deals, the persecution of the media, the illegal NSA spying, the president saying NATO is over our military and Congress putting up with it, the president legalizing all the illegals by fiat, the president shutting down power plants not owned by General Electric, doubling power prices in many areas of the country. It's all total mafia. Total dictatorship. And it doesn't mean he won't leave. He's like shark teeth. When they've used those up, they break away and other ones move forward. Obama will leave office in a couple of years, I think. They were thinking about trying to make him a dictator, but the sales job didn't work. So they'll bring in Chris Christie or somebody else. And it'll be all a new gimmick. And then the whole program just rolls forward, where the office has been turned into the nexus point of the Bilderberg Group and the CFR to literally gut this country. Here is one of the head directors of the Cato Institute in Congress breaking down that we're in danger of the government being overthrown. It's been overthrown. That's why I say our revolution is not a revolution. It is a restoration, a re-upload of the Republic. Declaration of Independence says if a government becomes destructive of the aims of liberty and freedom, it's our right and duty to reform the government, to overthrow it. Well, we want America back. So we remove the foreign occupiers and re-upload the Republic. We reboot the system. And we bring to justice the criminals. Let's go to a part of this clip. Here it is.
Maybe Mr. Lazarus knows better than I do how many bombs the president has to drop without congressional authorization before that becomes war. I don't know the actual number. But I think what Mr. King was getting at is, you know, there is one last thing to which the people can resort if the government does not respect the restraints that the Constitution places on the government. Abraham Lincoln talked about our right to alter our government, or a revolutionary right to overthrow it. And that is certainly something that no one wants to contemplate. But as I mentioned in my written and my delivered testimony, if the people come to believe that the government is no longer constrained by the laws, and they will conclude that neither are they. That is why this is a very, very dangerous sort of thing for the president to do, to wantonly ignore the laws, to try to impose obligations on people that the legislature did not approve. An excellent conclusion. Thank you, Mr.
That's
Chairman.
right, and it's the only conclusion, and it's not a dangerous precedent. We crossed that decades ago. We are now under a dictatorship. The government has a 6% approval rating, according to Gallup. I've never heard of a government that had 94% of people against it. Even hardcore dictatorships usually have 20, 30% support by the idiots that work in the system. I mean, everyone in the government I know, I keep saying the government's a problem. Everybody, the government people actually are more awake than the general public. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I just want to live in a free country again. I don't want to be totally bankrupted to make me a political slave. They're screwing things up on purpose. Come on, folks. We got to turn this around.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.
That's only a small smattering of the classical tyranny that we see in the news as the media follows the script for illegal checkpoints, military pointing guns at people. This is the preparation for when they really drop the hammer on everybody. When they take your pension fund, public and private, and they're going to take about 30 to 40% generally is what they do in other countries of your private pension fund first. And then a couple years later, they'll take another 30, 40%. You'll end up with maybe 20% when they're done. And then, just like Detroit, they just took 80% in one fell swoop. In fact, they think we're so broke back, I mean, using the NFL to push Obamacare and gun bans now and political correctness as well. They might just take everything. I mean, I don't know. I mean, other countries, that fight back a little bit. So maybe I shouldn't follow what they've done in other nations. But vaporized is the headline on Infowars.com. Detroit obliterates retirement funds, 80% cuts to pensioners. This is going to affect everyone. Yeah, all the government folks that have moved to Texas out of the other states that have collapsed under the New World Order. I can't tell you how many retired police and firefighters and city managers and you name it live out where I live out in the hill country. And they're all awake, they're all freaked out, and they all also know you're not going to have your money soon. Just, okay? And it's because, again, it's not because it's even unfeasible to actually pay the pensions. And some of them are exorbitant. A lot of them aren't. It's that they created a $2.5 trillion of fake derivatives as a black hole. They're not even propping them up. They've already been triaged to suck off all the wealth. And they tell the cops and bureaucrats and IRS, go shake people down, get more money, or you're not going to get your pension. You're never going to get any of it unless we defeat the New World Order. Have you figured that out yet? And I think most of you have figured that out yet. But you're going to be betrayed just like you allowed the people to be betrayed. And I want to be clear, I don't even blame the government people. I blame all of us. Look in the mirror, just like V for Vendetta. We wanted to be lazy. We wanted to think America was different, wouldn't go the same way every other country went when people gave in to corruption. We're not just going to go the same direction. We're going to fall harder than anybody's ever fallen. Because it's a true saying, folks, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. It's almost easier in a fight to get a big guy down on the ground. I don't know what it is. They just think they've got it over on you and they're going to win, and that's the end of it. And it's the same thing with this whole republic, ladies and gentlemen. We're already on the ground, and the New World Order is what brought us down. And we're on life support right now, and they're busy pulling the wires out because they're vulture capitalist, anti-free market. They're going to eat down to our bones, and then the hyenas are going to come in after. That's what they even call them. And they're even going to eat our bones and slurp the marrow out of them. Politically, financially, culturally. They are going to sit back in Luxembourg and Switzerland and London. And they are going to watch everything else collapse into hell. All the major billionaires, I mean all of them, are leaving Israel. Selling out, physically running to Switzerland, physically running to London, physically running to the Cook Islands, physically running. A lot of them are moving to Eastern Europe and literally Romania and Transylvania, what was previously Transylvania, that border region. They are, why do you think they're doing that? Why do you think elites all over the world? What do you think is going to happen to Israel? What do you think is going to happen to the United States? What do you think is going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen, folks. War, famine, pestilence, World War III. That's where the devil wants to take us. And I know you atheists laugh at it all. Oh, you're going to be laughing, let me tell you. See how that atheism works out for you. You people are the most afraid of death. And I'm talking about the socialist authoritarian atheist. I actually know a lot of atheists that are actually awake to the New World Order, so I don't want to overgeneralize that. I'm not declaring war on anybody. I'm just telling you right now that I've told you this in the build-up. My gut has never been more concerned. My intellect has never been more concerned. Everybody's freaking out. I mean, it's not hard. It's like looking out your window and a tornado's coming in, you know, to get to shelter. Now, I grew up in Dallas, folks. I've only seen tornadoes once in Austin, and then I got blown off the road outside Austin by a tornado. But growing up in Dallas, I saw tornadoes every year. I don't know why I'm going off into that. Because we lived up on a hill in Rockwall, Texas, overlooking Lake Ray Hubbard and Dallas, and I could see all these cities off in the distance from that hilltop. And my dad would say, see that tornado? And we go look at the news, sure enough, it's a tornado. And I watched tornadoes come down out of the rural area, what's all built up now, and I'd watch them be gray or black and hit the water and turn blue, turn into water spouts. One time I watched 3 tornadoes that were beautiful. It came in and went on across the lake, just probably 3 miles away from where I was looking off that hilltop. And I watched those tornadoes. And I'm just watching these tornadoes just come in tearing everything up. And these tornadoes aren't beautiful, folks. They are full of innocent blood. They are drunk on all the horrible things they've done. And they go, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. There's no tornado. And I'm watching it tear up people's houses a mile away now. And it's coming towards me. And I'm still here still in this country, the epicenter of this, trying to warn people. And I'm not even mad at my detractors. I'm not even mad at Rachel Maddow and CNN hosts saying lies about me. I look at these people standing on collapsing old media, selling out minute by minute for narcissism and 30 pieces of silver. And I know down the road, folks, they're going to literally in many cases, go into their bedroom and take pills and kill themselves. They are literally going to go just like Judas to the cemetery and put a rope around their neck. They're going to jump out of windows when they lose everything. If I lost everything, I wouldn't even care. I don't worship that. It's only a little bit of security. It's also a burden to mess with it. But I need some capital to defend myself and be strong. But I don't worship it. It's literally, I don't worship gas I put in my truck. It's fuel. But to these people that worship the baubles, it's their golden calf. Ladies and gentlemen, they are going to jump out of windows by the tens of thousands. They jumped out by the thousands in 1929. And over the next 3 years of deepening depression, when the denial was going that, oh, things are going to be okay because they'd lose their house, they'd lose their status. These people all think everything in their world is about their status, owning a bunch of stuff and dressing fancy and walking into the country club. And they're not happy to go to the country club to go play golf or go eat a good steak. They're excited strutting in front of people that they're in the biggest house in the neighborhood and they've got the biggest steak in the neighborhood and they've got the best trophy wife in the neighborhood to impress people they don't like and don't want to be around. I'm not a peacock, ladies and gentlemen, displaying my feathers. And where are the other men out there that want to have a civilization and want to have your grave visited by your great-grandchildren and have them say he was an honorable man, she was an honorable woman? You people don't have family names. You don't care about your children. You don't care about the planet. You don't care about the future. You really want to give in to evil?
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.